Hi, this is Santosh Kanekar here from Growth Rocket, and today I want to talk about writing a great business plan. Running a business sometimes feel like as if you are sailing the seas. And when you are sailing the seas, you want the sails of your boat pointed in the right direction, the rudder helping you to move in the right direction. You want to make sure that there are enough supplies that you have for going through this journey, and you also want to ride out any storms which might come your way, and at frequent intervals you want to check whether you are moving in the right direction. These and more these and more steps are taken by a great business plan. So before we start, let's understand what a business plan is. A business plan, according to the entrepreneur.com, is a written document describing the nature of your business, the sales and marketing strategy, and the financial requirements and the background containing a projected profit and loss statement. According to the US Small Business Administration, these are the things that you need to include in your business plan: an executive summary, a company description, a market analysis, an organization and management breakdown, a description of the service or product line, an overview of your marketing strategy and any request for funding, some financial projections, and in an appendix you should mention the relevant permits or leases that you need to have. There is a link below this video to this site, US Small Business Administration. While there are many definitions which are around, at heart a business plan includes the what, the when, the where, the how and the how much. So let's understand this a little more. If we start with the what of the business, here we want to understand what is the purpose of the business that you set out. The simpler and fewer words that you use, the better. Now if you say we are in the business of making cupcakes, that's short and clear, but it's not differentiated. Against that, if you say that we make healthy cupcakes for fitness lovers, now it's not only clear but it's also differentiated. What of the business also makes it clear what you will not do. Steve Jobs once said that focus means saying no to 100 other good things that or good ideas that might be there. So that's the what. Now let's look at the when. This part of the business plan tells you what of the business plan will be done by when. While your business is an ongoing entity, it needs certain milestones, certain timelines for reaching what you have achieved or the steps in what you are trying to achieve. So this section lists down all those achievements that you need to do by when. Coming to where, this talks about the geographical focus of your business, also the distribution. Now there might be various types of industries you may service. Let's take our cupcakes example. Now you may have one store in the city, but you may use an e-commerce portal so that you can distribute across the state or to the city. Now comes the how. This section goes into the details of how you're going to do it. So how many cupcakes are you going to make? How will you finance this entire business? How will you do the marketing of these products? How will you handle customer issues? Will you have people for these functions or will you be outsourcing them? So all the how questions are answered here. And then comes the how much. This part of the how much section deals with the costs and the investments which are going to go into your business. This talks about how you're not just the how, but how much are you going to deliver. So you will have an optimistic scenario, a realistic scenario and a pessimistic scenario. So typically you would start with a realistic scenario for your sales and then you will build up into an optimistic scenario and a pessimistic scenario. Plot also what will be the cost which will be incurred by this business against that. All these elements helps you in adjusting the business to the environment and takes the anxiety out of the equation. Now we should remember that a business plan, your business plan should not try to be a one size fits for all. That would be quite difficult, but it is important to understand which are the different or the critical perspectives that you need to have in your business plan. And these are the key people that you need to include: your investors, your team and your own perspective. So now let's look at these three different perspectives. So if you are now looking at the different perspectives, let's start with your investors' perspective. You may have investors or partners who have invested in your business from a financial perspective. What should be the elements that the plan should highlight for them? Your investors would like to know that whatever numbers which have been agreed with them are reflected in the plan. More importantly, they would want to understand what are the assumptions behind the numbers that you have given to them. So the numbers which are often but not limited to are sales, profits, working capital, marketing that you would incur and the elements of expenses which would be there. More importantly, these are some of the questions that you need to answer for your investors. What are you doing more of or less of compared to the last year? Your plan should have comparison against the last year's. Are your sales coming from more customers or you are getting more revenue per customer compared to the last year? Are your expenses more at the operating level or at the financial level? What is driving your working capital? Is it debtors or is it creditors or is it inventories? Is profit increasing because revenues are up or because the expenses are down? So these are the perspectives for an investor. Now let's look at the perspective from your team's angle. Does the plan give them a clear direction of where they need to focus their efforts? The business plan should clearly outline the type and number of customers that you need to, or rather they need to focus on, the expenses which can be incurred to get these customers, and more importantly, how will success be measured for them. The plan should have milestones the business needs to reach so that they will know that the efforts are in the right direction. Your business plan should also have an inspirational element to it. The why in the plan gives them a reason to succeed and be excited about this business. Simon Sinek says there are only two ways you can influence people. Either you can manipulate them or you can inspire them. People don't buy what you have or what you do, they buy why you do it. The third perspective is yours. You want to make sure that certain critical elements that you want to know are in the business. So what are the critical elements? You want to know about your customers, you want to know about your people, you want to know about the processes, and obviously you want to know about profits. Now, some questions that you need clear answers to are you creating more customers? Are you retaining more customers? Are you making more raving fans or are you just shipping out the boxes? Is your people cost going up? Is this led by more senior hires or by junior hires? And is this reflecting the gaps that you had planned to fill up in this year? Is your business generating more operating profits or you're just improving your bottom line by cost cutting? How much of the profits will be reinvested back into the business? Also at an operating cost level, does this reflect your quality and cost principle? Are your shipping cost increasing or decreasing? Are your marketing cost increasing or decreasing? Are your sales promotion cost increasing or decreasing? So these are the critical things that you need to understand and use these questions as a detailed checklist to make sure that you have all the required elements. But checklists don't inspire people, so don't make it a dry numbers game. Pour your passion which you have for your business into the plan. Let your business plan be like a lighthouse to the team. Let your business plan become like an inspiring leader who gives inspiration to their team, who gives clarity to the team when they want it, and also holds them accountable for their efforts which they are putting in. So best wishes for your writing your business plan, which I'm sure will turn out to be a great business plan.